Okay, Namrata, welcome to BGS.
Thank you for having me.
What a pleasure to have you today.
Thank you.
So tell me, how are we feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm quite
Yeah?
excited actually to have a nice conversation.
What if I make it really not nice and rogue?
It's okay. I'll answer what I want.
Good. So I'd love to start by actually asking you to introduce yourself to us. For those of
Who
our
don't know who
listeners
I
who don't
am.
know who you are. Yeah.
So my name is Namrata Soni and I am a makeup artist. I have been in this industry now for 25 years. I do work in Bollywood. I have my own beauty line called Simply Nam, and I love what I do.
Oh, that makes me really happy. I love what I do too, so highly relate. And do you feel like it's rare to find, a profession or a career that really fulfills your soul?
Oh my God, so rare. I have friends who I speak to. Um, they work because they need to earn the money. They don't work because they're passionate about it. Not everybody gets lucky enough to be able to find their path and earn money off it.
Yeah.
It's very rare. And if you are one of the lucky souls who managed to find it, grab onto it.
And according to Ikigai, if you're making some money and have some purpose alongside it, then
Exactly.
jackpot.
Exactly.
So you have been a brand for 20 plus years now?
Yes, 20
Wow.
plus years. Oh my God. I feel so old.
You're not. Also, like absolutely glowy right now. Tell us your skincare routine.
Oh my God, really?
No,
Oh.
seriously, tell us. I was joking, but no, I'm serious now.
Just keeping it simple, not too many products. I use my microfiber cloth every day to wipe my face with some warm water. I use a niacinamide serum with a moisturizer and sunscreen. That's it. I think too many products don't work in our country. Just it's too hot, it's too humid, it's too sticky. So the more you layer, the more you land up perspiring, and it does not do anything for your skin.
Yeah, simplicity,
Yeah.
right? Is key.
Yeah.
I recently discovered K beauty, big fan, but it's so overwhelming, I feel, as an industry.
God, like 10 layer, like there's a 10 step, 7 step, I think is the
Yes.
basic, right? And I did it. I did it way before. Actually, I did it almost 10 years ago. I remember with somebody had brought an entire ritual down and I enjoyed it. But to be honest with you, I enjoyed it during the winters. I did not enjoy it during the summers because I am not someone who doesn't perspire. So for me, I would literally be like I would leave from my bathroom where I have a fan, because in India you have fans everywhere. And I would reach the elevator and my face would be wet. And I would be like, okay, this is not working out. So I needed to like go back to like keeping it simple. And I think that worked better for me over a period of time.
If there was like one thing that you would say is absolutely essential to be doing every single day,
Sunscreen.
beyond sunscreen, because I think we all know about the SPF.
I think beyond sunscreen, I would say because we live in India and we have the climate is not like very friendly to us. I would say, depending on your skin type, definitely introduce a niacinamide serum into your skincare routine. It makes a huge difference to the pores on your skin. It tightens your skin. It just gives your skin a very even tone. And in India, I think as Indian women, I think one of the biggest issues that we face is pigmentation. And that really helps keep it at bay with extended usage. Don't expect it to work overnight, but be regular with it and you'll see a very big difference in your skin.
Thank you. And I guess my next question, nice segue into the next question, is have you always been really passionate about beauty and skin?
No, I was a tomboy. I was a complete and total tomboy. I grew up with two older sisters and I was extremely naughty. Extremely.
Were you mean as a kid?
Never. I was a
Okay.
very nice kid.
Good.
I
We
was
can
a
be
very
friends.
nice kid, but I was very naughty. Like I just wanted to play. I never wanted to study. I just wanted to play, play, play. I used to come back like filthy from like, downstairs. My mom would be like, what are you doing down there? Like I really want to know. And it just I actually went to boarding school for like 7 years. And that kind of changed me a little bit. It gave me I think I was also getting older. But I still came back and that's when my it just actually happened by chance. I was in college in Jai Hind, and my mom was like, I'm sorry, but you're not going to finish college every day, come back and park your ass in front of the TV or just keep chatting with your friends. So please get a summer job. So I actually decided to assist my aunt, like my Masi's friend, who is a very big hairstylist in our country. And I decided to go in because I used to cut my friend's hair in school because we were not allowed to step out in the boarding school I was in. So I decided to go to her. I trained with her for a few years. And she told me, why don't you do a self-grooming course? It'll be so fun. I was like, okay. And just, I realized that I actually had the knack for it.
Yeah.
I could do an eyeliner in one go, which was exactly. So my teacher at that point, who I studied from, said that, she told me, she's like, I think you should consider making this into a career for yourself. And there were, I think, maybe 3 female makeup artists in the industry at that point. This is like 25 years ago. And I never looked back.
So it was always kind of, I guess, paving the path for yourself that you knew you were going to walk down.
Yes, for sure.
Did you ever have, before you kind of came across the course and before you were cutting the hair, like what kind of kid were you and what were you excited by aside from playing?
Oh my God. I was very good at extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
So I was like into the debate team, elocution team. I was a sports person. Every inter-school activity is what I wanted to be a part of. And I was very into that. And I remember I actually wanted to get into economics, very far away from what I've gotten into in my life. I actually really enjoyed it. I studied it. And that is where it was either that or my childhood dream to be a pilot. And economics happened naturally in school. And then I gravitated towards that during college when I came back. And it just didn't happen. My mom told me, she's like, you need to choose. I'm not sending you to London to study for both of those things. It's expensive. You need to decide. And I was so nervous, because I'm a Libran, so extremely indecisive. And I need someone to help me decide, okay, is this the right path or is this the wrong path? And I think I've chosen the right path.
So you studied in London?
Yes, I did.
What was that experience like for you growing up in India, going to a completely different climate, different culture?
Loved it.
Yeah. Do you miss it?
I miss it. I did not want to come back. After I finished my course there, I actually wanted to work in London. And my mom said, you need to get your ass back here.
Yeah.
And there's a huge industry that's waiting for you to come back. So why are you wanting to stay back there? But I just love the work life there. I wanted to be part of that industry. I wanted to, I excelled in the school that I studied at in London. And I had great teachers, and there were people who were part of the industry at that point, and I really wanted to experience it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I came back, and I pursued what I did here, because to be honest with you, I came back to a very male-dominated industry in India. We're not allowed to work as women in the industry. I don't know if you know that.
No.
So
what does that mean?
So we came back to a industry which had a very strong union. So it was the Cine Makeup Hair and Dress Union, where women could only do hair, men could do makeup, and then you had your clothes people, like your designers and your stylists. And they were very adamant that women would not do makeup. They could only do hairstyling in the industry. So I never listened. I was pretty much dragged out of movie sets. I was fined. I was threatened. There were no telephones at that point. There were no cell phones. So my mom would get threatening calls on the answering machine. I tried very hard to fight it in Bombay, but it was very difficult. Like, I think I've spent, I don't know how many hours with lawyers waiting outside the Cine Union, and just nobody agreeing to meet me. And I decided that time itself, you know what, I don't care. I'm done fighting. I live in a secular country. We have a woman president. I don't need someone to tell me what I can or cannot do in this country. So I stopped caring what the union did. I stopped listening to them. I was not a member of it because they were not allowing me to be a member of it because I had to be a hairstylist only to be a member of it. So I refused to take the union card.
Yeah.
And I had some very amazing producers, directors, actors that I worked with in this industry who supported me and said that we have your back. If they do come knocking on the door, we have your back.
Mm.
And then finally, we had a makeup artist from down south who won the case down south.
Okay.
And we won it. It went all the way to Supreme Court and the case was won. But it was not something that needed to go to court.
No, that sounds very dramatic.
It's very dramatic. And it was not very nice, actually. So, I mean, I think at that point, there must have been, when I started 25 years ago, I think there were like maybe 3 female makeup artists in the movie industry. And I was part of the movie industry. I was not really part of the fashion industry at that point in my life. So it was very eye-opening because my mom and my dad were like, listen, are you sure you want to do this? Because they would get threatening messages saying, if your daughter doesn't stop doing this, we're going to cut off her hands. We're going to kill her. And these were messages being left on answering machines at that point. Because there were no cell phones in India. So they were really nervous about it, but I loved what I did. And I was very lucky that I had people who supported me.
Wow. So would you say that community was what you got through that time in your life?
Yes, for sure. And I'll be very honest with you. A lot of people don't know this. She knows it. But so in 2014, I was working on a film and we had some, pushback from the union. And they were like coming and harassing the production on set and saying, she doesn't have a union card, she can't work. And my actor was like, I'm only going to work with her, so figure it out. I don't care. So we had one of our male actors, like our superstars, and he's like, you know what, I want to sort this out. Come, let's call them, sit together, and let's see what they have to say. I was standing behind him. I was asked to keep quiet to just hear them out. And I'm not lying to you. I was devastated. I was shattered to see that it was actually not the men, but it was the women who had a problem with the women working in this industry. Because it's like nepotism, right? It's like you're a hairstylist, you get married to a makeup artist, and your son, if he's born, becomes a makeup artist. Your daughter, if she's born, becomes a hairstylist.
Yeah.
And here we had few of us coming into the industry who were not connected to the industry, but we didn't care, and we were not their children, and we still wanted to work in this industry. So they were like, because of you. So it was literally like a shouting match happening there, where they were like, it's because of people like you our sons don't have work. It's because of people like you who come in your fancy cars and who are coming to work, and it's because of y'all that our children don't have work. And I looked at them and I said, finally, can I speak? And I was like, I have worked very hard to buy my car. It was not given to me by my parents. I have worked very hard to reach where I've reached. I have sat on set and worked on movie sets for 22 hours every day to be where I am. It's not come to me on a platter, So who are you to ask me or question me and make me feel this way? And there was no solution. We didn't come to any understanding. And I left that and I called up my sister and my husband. I was just about to get married. And I was like, all these years I was made to feel like it was the men, these dominating sexist men who had a problem with us. But honestly, it was the women. And that's when I realized that every single time I was dragged out of a movie set, I was literally manhandled and dragged out of movie sets. And I had to call the cops in Goregaon when we were shooting. It was the women hairdressers on set who would be calling up the union and saying, okay, she's on set, come and let's do a tamasha.
Yeah, I think you often see that in many industries, women are the gatekeepers of the patriarchy. And I don't know where it comes from, because
I really
can't
don't
relate.
know.
But also, it feels like there's some sort of maybe resentment regarding the oppression that there was overall, and not having the courage to speak up. Because of course, if you're being threatened with your life, like most people wouldn't actually take the step, and you somehow did. Like, did you actually process that you were, fighting a system that actually could have threatened your life?
Yeah, I did. I'm telling you, after that, in 2014, this happened in May 2014, just when our government was changing. We were changing from Congress to BJP. Modi was coming into power. And this is when the entire thing was happening. And I was in shock. I remember sitting in the vanity van and I was with my actor and she was like, I was crying. And she's like, why are you getting so upset? I said, can you believe it? It's women. Like these women are, I just couldn't. It was very upsetting to me because, our entire lives we've been told we need to support each other. We need to be there for each other and women support women. And here it finally opened, it dawned on me after, I don't know how many years of trying that, oh my God, it was 14 years that, okay, the system is so messed up. And I don't blame those women to a very large extent because that's what they've grown up with and they've seen. And that's the way they react. They're trying to protect themselves and their hierarchy and their legacy. And here I'm coming in and disrupting all of it.
People don't like disruptors.
No, they don't. They don't.
But I think disruptors are the ones that pave the way for the newer generations. And I guess my follow-up to this is...
Sorry, I think we went completely off track.
Oh my God, no, absolutely not. I think this is so interesting because I firstly had no idea that all of this happened and that you were probably at the forefront or one of the people at the forefront of all of this. But I guess any emerging makeup artist or stylist or kind of hairstylist that is coming into the industry now or has been in the last, like, say, 5-10 years, do they have any idea the battles that were fought? Like, do they know?
Not all of them, actually. A lot of them don't even realize what we had to go through, being threatened. We were made to hide in vanity vans when some production houses were not comfortable fighting for us, but they still wanted us on set. They have no ideas with the struggles that we've gone through. A lot of them do message me, and it feels really nice when they message me and say, thank you so much because of you guys fighting is why we are here. And at that point, I didn't really think of it from that perspective. I was like, oh, okay, this is just part and parcel of being in this industry. But a lot of them don't even know that. They don't know the history of women makeup artists in India.
I want to actually learn a bit more about what it was actually like being on a movie set, working for 22 hours. That sounds wild. Like, did you drink enough water? Did you have toilet breaks?
I did not. Okay, I have to say this. Okay, so there were productions and there were productions. So there would be some people who had... So when I started, we had our actresses who were the only women on set. From our directors, DOPs, that's director of photography, our costume designers, everybody were men. So here we would be female makeup artists coming in. There was no bathroom for us to use at these sets. And a lot of actors were not okay for us using their toilets. So we landed up having UTIs and not drinking water for hours at a time. Then finally, I remember I was working with somebody who I was very fond of, and I went to the director and I said, she was a female director. I said, you have your own vanity van, but is it possible for, there to be a vanity for the other girls on set? Because we can't go and use those toilets the men are using because it's absolutely disgusting. And we land up not drinking water and we land up falling sick. And she made sure that we had it. But it changed after that, because after that, I got the confidence. I'm like, okay, it's my humane right to go and ask for it. So I started asking for it. But before that, we were so scared, right? Like, okay, what are people? They're not going to use us because we are creating issues or we are demanding for things. But this is basic human rights. And it was very hard. I remember we would wake up. I would be up at 4. I would be on set by 6. Our actors would come at 12. Didn't matter. We still had to be, because that was our call time. And we would be shooting till 2 a.m. or 1 a.m. And I was young, so I managed to get away with it. I managed to power through it. But it was very difficult. You had no life. You couldn't have a life. And at that point, movies would take 6 months to get completed. Today, movies get done in 30 days and 45 days. But it was a very different era to actually shoot in. We were at the beck and call of production. It didn't matter if our actors came 6 hours late. We still had to be on set. And eating set food. Oh my God. I do not miss that at all. Today, of course, it's changed a lot. Eating food full of soda, and it really ruined our health to a very large extent. But at that point, you're so eager to like prove yourself, at least I was, that I didn't think of those things.
So did you never pause to wonder whether this career was really for you? Like, did you ever have a point where you were like, I cannot do this anymore, and you still pushed forward?
Yes, I did. I remember in 2005, 2005, yeah, 2005, 2007, actually, I came back. I was shooting in New York. I came back. And again, the same nonsense was happening with the union. And I was like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I putting myself through these hours and I have no life? And I'm not talking about a personal life. I'm just talking about a life, like you take on a lot when you're surrounded by people throughout, and especially the same person throughout the day.
Yeah.
You become their punching bag. I'm sure you know what I'm saying. Like women in general become punching bags, right? To family members, to husbands, to sisters, to brothers, to everybody. So you become their punching bag, and so we are their psychiatrists, right? We have to listen to everything. So it really drains you out. So I would come back home, and I think the first thing I would do is I would just go and lock myself in my room. And I would not come out for hours. I would just like go have a shower. I would just be chilling in bed. My mom would keep knocking. My sisters would keep knocking. I'd be like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to be left alone. And then one day my mom just, the minute I entered the house, she just like blocked me. She's like, please come and sit. There's an intervention happening for you right now. And she's like, this is my house and these are my rules. You will come back home, however tired you are. I will give you 1 hour to do what you want, and then you will come and sit with your family. And I'm so grateful that she did that, because I realized that I actually needed to come out and not think, not internalize and be in the mundane, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it really helped me push forward and say, okay, fine, I think I was approaching it incorrectly. Like I should have just allowed my family and friends to be more part of my lives, like come back and been more with them than just like try to be alone and try to handle. Because I was like, and my mom's like, why are you doing that? I said, I don't want to take out my mood on you. She's like, that's what we're there for. Yeah. She's like, that's what your family is there for. We're there to take your bullshit, and we're there to tell you stop, and take a step back. So yeah.
So we've talked about the parts of your career that were very challenging, but I really want to hear about some of the maybe fonder memories you have from the work that you did back then. And obviously we will touch on the present as well. But you have worked on some amazing film sets. Can you tell me any maybe specific memory or memories that you have that still to this day stay with you as, maybe defining moments in your career as a makeup artist, but in a very positive way?
I think working for Farah Khan, my director, was a turning point in my career. She was so pro-women. She was so wonderful. She really looked after all of us on set. I think her movie was literally pretty much the first film in Bollywood that actually had so many women on it, and I think that was definitely a defining moment in my career. Like being in Darjeeling, we were there for 40 days in freezing cold in December and January shooting. And, I remember traveling there in an absolute horrific train journey of 48 hours, but reaching there and realizing that, oh my God, I love this. I love what I'm doing here. And I love working for this woman who is so fantastic at what she does. It was her first film. She was a choreographer.
Yeah.
So it was her first Hindi film where she was directing, and it turned out to be amazing. It till date is one of my most amazing memories. It was a film called Main Hoon Na, and it was my favorite film. One of my favorite films I've ever been part of. And I think other than that would be when I met Sonam and Ria. And it was a completely different energy to be around. You know, I loved being part of that clique of girls who just wanted to prove themselves
Yeah.
and take fashion and take makeup to new heights in an industry where everything was just very bland.
Yeah.
And so I think those were really few defining moments. And I loved Aisha. I loved working on Main Hoon Na. I loved working on Aisha, one of my
love
favorite
Aisha.
films. Exactly.
One of my faves
My
as well.
favorite, my favorite. Then I actually really enjoyed working on Prem Ratan Dhan Payo. I love Suraj Barjatia as a director. He was and is so wonderful and so loving and so kind. And I loved working on that film. I loved working with Sonam. I loved being around Salman. He was just so fantastic. And I've been so lucky to have met such amazing human beings in this industry. And I'm glad that I chose the path that I did, because there was a point in my career where there was a crossroad. I could either go with this person or this person. And at that point, I remember when I chose the person who I was working with eventually, and everybody was like, what? Why would you do that? She's a nobody. You needed to go here. And I was like, no, I want to be happy. I want to wake up in the morning and I want to go to work and I want to feel like I've created something and done something, and I want to come back with a smile on my face.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah. You really listened to your inner voice.
Yes,
in that moment.
I did.
I think in a place like India, there can be so much noise, you know, like everyone's got opinions. And of course, a lot of it is also based on fact or like evidence.
Yes.
But that's their experience. And, you know, as much as people mean really well for us, sometimes they can not be helpful.
Yeah, of course.
You know, because it might not actually apply. So throughout your career, have you been very intentional about always listening to your gut?
Always. And so far, my gut has not led me down the wrong path.
Ever?
No, once it has, once or twice. But I think overall, I have been lucky. I have always listened to my gut. Always. Whether it's, should I do this project or should I not? Should I work with this person or should I not? Will this aspect of me maybe doing a fashion show help my career, or will it not? Like I've always listened to my gut. Sometimes it could be wrong, but I will never regret the decisions I've made, because it's got me where I am today, and it's taught me some really hard lessons.
Is there anything you would have changed, though, about the way you may have approached parts of your career, if knowing what you know now?
Yes, I would have. I definitely would have. Like, I remember when I opened my academy, I had a makeup academy. I still do. I had a makeup academy initially with a partner. And I wish that I had not partnered with that person. You know, I really wish I hadn't. That person tried to ruin my reputation.
Right.
And I'm so grateful and thankful that I had enough goodwill in the industry for that to not happen. But it was a huge setback for me mentally and emotionally. And I wish that I had not done that. That's actually, I would say, in my career, that would be the one regret that I have. Yeah.
You know, you've been around for a period of time where so much change has happened, right? Right in front of you. You've been at the forefront of the change. I'm not calling out your age here, but
I'm 44. It's fine. I'm 44. I started when I was 19. So, yeah.
What I guess I'm so curious to know is, how do you actually perceive the way that the industry has evolved up until today? And also, like, obviously with the rise of the digital era, with things being so fast paced and also like all about instant validation and gratification, things are not as slow anymore.
They're not.
So how do you actually navigate that as someone who is full-time working in this space?
It's very hard, to be honest with you. Sometimes I wish social media didn't exist. Sometimes.
Same.
You know, I'm like, because, you know, I came into this industry when there was no social media. Everything was print, right? Everything was magazines or page 3 Bombay Times. That was where you got everything, where you saw all the pictures of the events that you did with your actors and everything. So, I mean, it's been very difficult to navigate the social media aspect of it. It takes a lot out of me personally. Um, I'm not someone who likes to be in front of the camera, but I was, like you said, I came at a time when it was just changing so much and I had to adapt to it. I didn't have a choice. And I'm grateful for you know, for YouTube starting, for all of those, channels starting that got me comfortable enough before Instagram came in for me to be, okay, you know what, I can do this. And also being lucky enough to find the right people to work with, I think that made a huge difference. Because like you said, there's so much of noise and clutter in this industry. To navigate and find the right people sometimes can be very hard. So it's been quite interesting. But there are still times I wake up and I'm like, God, I wish Instagram wasn't there.
Do you feel like the experiences that you went through at the time you went through them were critical in actually making you the type of makeup artist that you are, the quality that you bring in your work? Because I feel like if you were to say start today,
Oh, no.
you wouldn't have had the struggles necessarily, right?
No.
And I'm not saying there aren't struggles today, right?
Yeah.
Of course, like everyone's got their own version of that. But what I'm trying to say is you literally fought death
Yes.
threats and
Yes.
things like that, which are, I don't know if that happens anymore, but like, do you feel like that made you a level of resilience that, was needed
Yes.
for you?
Oh, yes. Oh my God. Like, again, like I have an academy where I teach once a year. And, we have these really young girls who are like 18 and 19 and 20 coming in, and they are so hungry to be where I am, but they want to be there today. And because of social media, they feel that they can, because I didn't have it. I had to take 24 years to reach where I have. And I keep telling them, I'm like, please take your time. Like, savor and enjoy where you are right now, because it comes and goes very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's very hard. Sorry, just
Okay.
cut it. I told my sister not to call me and she's called me. And sometimes it can be, it's very overwhelming to see that, especially in the younger generation, because however great social media has been for getting people's work out there, for, making your brand successful, for making you successful, it comes with its disadvantages. And major disadvantages, like people are just literally stuck to their phones. Like my nephews are 20 and 19 and 21. And I'm like, can you please get off your phone? They are phone babies.
Yeah.
Like they were literally born and phones were thrust into their faces, right? Because it was an easy way out. But it's so difficult to see they rely on their phones for everything. I don't think they would be able to have a conversation with someone if they were sitting across. And that's what I keep telling my girls. I'm like, so at the academy, I'm like, please don't touch your phones for those 7-8 hours that we're training. I said, have a conversation with the person sitting in front of you, right? It's like, if I'm getting you ready in my chair, I want to know what your life is. Like, what do you do? Where are you going for a honeymoon? Who are you dating? It could be personal, but I'm talking about from a bridal aspect. But like, even if I'm working with like a client for an event, I'll be like, I want to know about their life. I want to be integrated into that aspect, because it gives me, it really opens up my vision and my creativity into bringing the best out for them with my artistry.
Yeah.
And that's missing today. It's all about cut, copy, pasting. And I feel that that needs to stop.
Do you think that there may almost be a time soon where we revert back to those old values because people are overwhelmed by how instant things are and how, at times maybe not as personable things are anymore? Like I can tell you an example. I can tell you an example. I think at my age, like I'm a millennial, I'm in my early 30s, and I have grown up in a time where phones weren't a thing, internet wasn't a thing, but I grew up kind of experiencing that from my teens onwards. And I think I probably had times in my 20s where like I was very reliant on
Yeah.
technology and probably still am. But now there's so much more of a focus on, getting back to community and being offline. And oh my
Yeah.
gosh, there's these cafes. I heard there's cafes in Denmark where you just put your phone in a little basket and then you go play like
Oh my God, I hope
games.
that happens. I really hope that happens. And I think I really think it needs to happen where, like I actually put my phone goes on dark mode at 7 in the evening.
Mm,
That doesn't mean that it won't ring,
Yeah.
but that means my WhatsApp and my Instagram are not accessible to me.
yeah.
I mean, it is still accessible, but I make an effort not to go onto it because I don't want my screen time to be all about. I want to be sitting with my sisters, with my husband, with my friends, and actually having a conversation with them.
Yeah.
And that stopped happening even for someone like me because when social media suddenly blew up, like when Instagram blew up and Facebook blew up, we were just, we were just scrolling. It was just scrolling. You were just sitting on your phone all day long, seeing what is this person doing? What is that person doing? And I actually trained myself to not have FOMO.
Yeah.
And I'm not someone who has FOMO.
Love that for you.
And I do not want to ever be that person. And it's been very hard because, and I know a lot of people will hate me for saying that, but I love the lockdown.
Quite a few people have said that.
I
Yeah.
loved the lockdown because it was that for 5 months, I would say, for Bombay. It was like 3.5 months in the industry where we were forced to stop working.
Mm.
We were forced. And we actually had to take a step back and relax and chill and be happy and not worry about who's doing what on Instagram. And the first 2 weeks I was on social media and my husband sat me down and he's like, I love you, but you really need to stop being on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I hired a social media manager. That
Nice.
day itself, I said, you know what? You're right. Why should I be the one posting and this thing? Let that person do it. And I'm so grateful that I did it because it changed the way, I don't even check WhatsApp most of the time. I think people get fed up of me after some time because I don't respond sometimes because I don't want to. I don't want to, after 7 o'clock, look at my phone and respond to messages. And I really hope for this generation, the next few generations, that they really, enjoy community more than just being on social media and being on their phones and television and whatever it is.
Do you see benefits to, the emerging makeup artists and this industry that it's evolved into now, I guess? Do you see good things happening as well that maybe you in your like earlier years didn't necessarily see or have?
I would say easier to be a makeup artist today, for sure. I would say that has been, everyone and anyone can do it today without the worry of someone coming and, I guess,
Yeah.
threatening you. That is something I wish I wouldn't go back and say, I mean, I wish I didn't have to face that, but I did. And it made me a stronger person and it made me who I am today. But I mean, that would be something that I would maybe want to experience. But I think I loved the industry when I started it. And I love that. So I'll tell you what I don't love and what I love. What I don't love is you get bookings based on social media and what you've put up. There are millions of filters on those things. People don't look like that. It's very, very rare that you'll find that one insanely beautiful woman who has no flaws.
Yeah.
Okay. And it really sets the bar very high and it sets a lot of people up for failure and heartbreak. And it's very difficult to see that. It's very difficult for me because I was part of I started when your work spoke for itself. You got bookings because of word of mouth.
Yeah.
You didn't get bookings because of Instagram. Or like today, what upsets me is when I have, say, I get a booking and then, the mother will be like, oh, we want to book for the rest of the family, but we want to see your team's work. And I always tell them, I'm like, please don't judge them because they don't have enough pictures on Instagram. I said, give them a chance. I was given a chance. I was called for a shoot, not knowing how I would perform. And I was given that chance. Today, you're not given that chance if you don't have a strong social media presence. And I think that's very hard for this generation. I find it very difficult for them. And I'm really grateful that I made my name that many years ago, that I don't have to rely on social media to still get work. Um, it's it's a very, but what I love about it is that instant gratification that I can put up my work and I'm like, wow, it's looking so beautiful,
Yeah.
and I can send it to people who want to see it. But it's got its pros and cons, to be honest.
Absolutely. Thank you for, I guess, being so candid about that, because I do absolutely agree with you that there's such a beauty in, the playing field being so even. You can build up your own brand from scratch, but actually, where do you begin? It's a chicken and egg.
Yeah.
I need to have clients first, right? I need to have stuff to
Exactly.
show. And
Exactly.
often, like, with these things, I notice, obviously, like with the work that I do through this, I realize that sometimes people don't take you seriously unless you've got like XYZ on your portfolio. But how do you even get that if you don't have anything? So yeah, it's tough, but it's also a very exciting time, I would say, because there is so much creativity that's coming out of it.
Of course.
And I mean, I try to really limit my time on TikTok, and I know TikTok doesn't exist in
we
India.
don't have TikTok here.
I know. But even like on Reels, I mean, you're scrolling for ages and you just think, wow, like people's brains are just amazing, aren't they?
They are
like,
amazing. And you get to see a lot of I love that's what I'm saying. I love that aspect of it. And the only thing I am actually scrolling in and towards is that creative aspect of this industry, which I love seeing, because you get to see that on social media. And you get to see that on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, and YouTube. My God, the kind of videos, like makeup is not just anymore about looking beautiful, right? It's about bringing out your personality. And there are such amazing, creatively talented people who do character makeup for themselves and make themselves look incredible. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, that is one aspect of it that I love.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend you look at, I think her name's Rawi or Rowie Singh.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
So I'd love to move on to actually talking about your brand.
Yes, of
Because
course.
you have launched a brand called Simply Nam.
Yes.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, Simply Nam.
Simply Nam. So tell me about what actually spurred you on to launch your own brand.
So I wanted to start the brand actually from 2015, 2016. I was like, you know what? I think I'm ready to do it. It took me a while to figure it out, but I saw, okay, as a makeup artist, only had access to buying makeup when I traveled, like the good stuff, right? And even then, I would not be able to find colors that actually worked for us. We would have to mix 3 colors to get the perfect shade for us, specifically for Indian skin tones, Indian weather, everything. We live in a very different climate, Our women have very varying undertones. And that one beautiful red lipstick might just not suit everyone.
Yeah.
So, and I was very lucky to have worked with so many countless beautiful people in my career and listened to their woes that, oh my God, I'm not getting this. I'm so frustrated. And, I wish, we could get it in India, and I wish we had these colors. And I was like, you know what, I think we're ready to, I'm ready to navigate into that industry where I actually want to make things that are specific for us.
Yeah.
Actually make colors that work for our skin tone, make textures that actually work for our climate. And I just wanted to make people feel beautiful with as less as possible, because that's who I am.
Yeah.
So a lot of people ask me, why Simply Nam? I'm like, because I'm simple. Right? So Simply Nam. And it's got part of my name. And I just realized that there was a need for someone to actually do makeup in this industry, like bring products into this industry that is the highest quality and ingredients, but at a very affordable price. Like, I'll be honest with you, when I first started thinking about my brand, I was like, what would I want my price points to be? Do I want it to be at like a Chanel and a Dior? Or do I want it to be at a Lakme and a Maybelline? Like what? And I realized at that point, I did not know till I actually started working with the manufacturers and working on products, what the cost of ingredients are, what the cost of all of those things are. And then I realized that, okay, I can be a premium beauty line, still have the best quality products and give them at a affordable rate to most people who are looking for that. And also in a world today where people read labels, they know what they want,
Yeah.
and you can't fool them anymore.
Can't. The average consumer is so much more conscious, and not just around, animal cruelty products, not having too much, ingredients in products and not
Yeah.
having too much chemicals or
Exactly.
harsh chemicals. People are looking at more natural
Yeah.
based things, but also sustainability is a big
Yes.
thing now.
I'm trying so hard to be sustainable. I'll be honest with you. We worked for 9 months to figure out how sustainable we can be in our country, but it's very hard in India to be sustainable.
agree.
As the product in itself is sustainable, like so Simply Nam, we have around, I would say our products are 97% clean. So I will not call myself a 100% clean brand, but I am vegan, I'm cruelty free. I would say we are 50% sustainable. I would not, because plastic. Our containers have plastic. So I cannot call myself 100% sustainable. And I am someone, and I'm a makeup artist who, as a makeup artist, you love pretty things, right? Like who actually, as a woman, who doesn't love pretty things?
Agree.
And when I started making my eyeshadow palettes, my blush palettes, my highlighter palettes, I wanted to make it in these beautiful, gorgeous packaging. And I realized that, oh my God, I'm not going to be sustainable if I do that. Which was like huge. I had to choose to go paper packaging because I wanted to be, I said, if I am advocating that I want to be sustainable, I need to put my money where my mouth is. And so we're trying, but it's very hard over here because we get most of our packaging from China.
Yeah.
Still. And they're holding us at gunpoint.
I was going to say it's a process. And I think the fact that you're aware and that, you're trying to make that happen, and you appear to me as somebody who, even if something doesn't exist, you will find a way.
Yes.
But timing is very important as well. And I have
it
noticed
is.
as well, I've been in India for now a few, I've visited many times, but I always notice, I'm like, is this place sustainable enough? But I think it'll get there,
It will get
as everything does.
It will get there.
So you could be really ahead of the time, but it might not work for that consumer.
Yeah.
So I guess following on from that, do you actually ship internationally yet?
No, we don't.
Please make it happen.
I know we don't ship internationally, unfortunately. We are right now in the process of just becoming more available India-wide.
Yeah.
And, I'm a lockdown brand. I call myself a lockdown baby because it's my baby. And I'm an online brand. I am not actually available offline. I used to be available offline when I started at Sephora, but I didn't have enough products at that point. So I'm an online brand, and it's been, I never, ever thought in my entire life that I would have an online brand. Because as a makeup artist, for me, textures, feeling is so important. Touch is so important. So as a makeup artist and as an owner of a brand, my job today is to make sure that resonates with my clients when I'm creating the ads for it, that, keep it as authentic as possible for people to understand. But I'm hoping very soon to go international shipping.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
If there is one product that you would recommend people look into from Simply Nam, just maybe something all-purpose. Like, I can talk about me. I love like a multi-purpose stick because I'm so minimal with my makeup that I will love to just use it as, maybe a lip thing and also on my cheeks and just really quickly get ready. Is there anything that maybe for like someone like me would be highly recommended from your brand?
Oh my God, how do I choose? I would say, are you someone who likes glitter?
Can do. I'm getting on board with it, but I'm a lot more like glossy. Like I like a dewy.
Okay, so I would say look at my Velvet Cream Magic blushes. They
Okay.
are absolutely stunning. So a
Mhm.
lot of people who have used cream blushes used to never use them before because it used to disintegrate the makeup that you have on your face.
It doesn't blend
Mine
properly
does
either.
not.
Ooh. I was going
Uh,
to say your blush is really blushing today.
exactly. That's my
Yeah.
Magic Cream blush. And it can be used on your cheeks. It can be used on your eyes. It can be used on your lips. It's a beautiful product with the most stunning ingredients that are actually good for your skin, because we've really tried with Simply Nam to be a skincare infused makeup brand. It is all about skincare, right?
Yeah.
So I would say my blush is one of, and I'm also someone who loves blush. Like that one product makes me smile. Like when I'm having a bad day and I just take my blush and I apply it, it makes me feel pretty.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
So I would say my blush.
And is there anything you think doesn't, this might be a hard question actually, but is there anything that you think needs to exist in the beauty industry that doesn't today?
There's so many things. Oh my God. So I would say from an India perspective, I would say it's changed a lot from the time I started, but I think women need to be a little bit more accepting of their skin color, embracing of their skin color. I still have a lot of clients who want to look fairer than they are and whiter than they are. And I think that really needs to stop. We live in a very, look at the society we live in today, look at the times we live in today. But it's changed. And that is, I have to say, that I would give to social media. I would say that confidence that girls have today, I would give to social media. So I would say there's literally everything that you would want today in the market from any perspective, whether you're someone who's a no makeup person or you're someone who loves all the makeup possible. But I don't know. I have 20 things that I would want to launch, honestly. So I don't know how to answer that question without saying, okay, so the thing I think I would want would be something that I apply on my face that stays even if I'm sweating.
Yeah, love. Like something that actually
Especially,
just
yeah, exactly. Especially,
repels
I would
sweat.
say a skin coverage, like a foundation,
Yeah.
without cakey, without making it cakey, like without having layers and layers of it on your skin, and just something light, something easy, but it stays put on your skin without blocking your pores, without ruining your skin. That's something I think I want to make.
I love that. And I think one thing I would want is skincare in there as well. So like
It'll
a
always
bit
have
of
skincare.
niacinamide or
Always.
oh my gosh, snail mucin. Snail
Yes.
mucin is I feel like I'm giving away a tip over here, but I actually
No,
mix
it's
it in with
amazing.
my foundation now
Yeah.
and it glides on so
It
well.
glides. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
great.
It's not very few places, actually, very few brands have it over here.
That's
But
very
yeah.
true. But no, I think that's a great piece of advice.
Hope
And
so.
I also am so excited for this brand.
Yeah, thank
I'm
you.
definitely going to check out the products.
Yes,
and
I'm going
see
to
if I
actually
can-
send you some. I'm
Oh,
going to get
how
the address
lovely.
and I'm going to send you some.
Thank you. That's
You're
really
here
sweet.
for a few days more.
Yes, I will be.
Okay.
Thank you. But I guess tell me what you're most excited about right now, Namrata.
Oh my God, I'm in the middle of a fundraise for my brand right now. So I'm very excited about that. About basically expanding. I think I want to be able to take this brand to Southeast, Middle East, all over the world, of course. I'm looking forward to working on a lot more manufacturers. Is what's exciting to me, actually. Because I was a lockdown brand, I kind of veered towards working with Indian manufacturers, which I love and I'm very, very proud of. But there is a whole world out there. And I really want to be able to tap into that. So that's what I'm most excited about.
What I love about what you just said is that it is homegrown.
Yes.
And you know, there is such a focus now. Again, the conscious consumer loves a homegrown brand because you're giving opportunities and jobs to people who are from your
And
area.
we have great manufacturers here.
Yeah.
And if every time I look at a product and I'm like, oh, you know what, I want to make this, and I want something like this in my life, or I want something like this for my brand, and it seems impossible, and then you speak to a manufacturer and you talk to them and they're like, you know what, we'll make it possible for you.
Yeah.
What do you need?
Yeah.
And I love that enthusiasm that they have, because what's happened is that internationally, there are just so many brands that you're a very tiny, small, little aspect and they don't care about you. But here, they will move an arm and a leg for you and create something for you. It takes a longer time to do it. But they do it. They make it possible for you.
Yeah.
So for me to be a homegrown brand I'm so grateful that it happened when it did, because I don't know if it would have happened if I started and it was not a lockdown. I think we always tend to go towards the West, right? Because it's easier. And it really made me stop and look at what we're capable of in our country. And we are so capable of creating anything in this country.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I love how most of us were sitting at home in lockdown making dalgona coffees and, what is it, vodka pasta and banana bread. And our
Oh
girl
my
over here was
God.
building a brand.
Yeah. It was quite hard, actually, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But I'm glad you did it.
Thank you.
And,
but I did master how to make the perfect pizza during lockdown.
Oh, okay.
And the best chocolate chip cookies for my husband.
That.
Exactly. So along with that, those are the two things that I did master during the lockdown.
Please, can you send me some along with your products? No, I'm kidding. Thank you so much, Namrata, for just sharing so much of you with us and your journey. It is mind-blowing what you've been through in the last 20 years. And I mean, I don't think I would have wanted to be in your shoes in some of the more difficult moments that you've been through, but sometimes you reflect on moments of courage and, I think everyone's got it in them to really fight the fight if that's what they care about and it's something they're passionate about. And I think sometimes it just happens that, you are that person and you have it in you that you might not even have known that you did.
Yeah. And never in my wildest dreams would I thought that this would be my career.
Yeah.
And I would be going through what I did to reach where I have today.
Yeah.
I never would have actually thought in a million years when I was in boarding school in 1998 or 1997 that this is what my journey is going to be. But I'm very proud of it. I wouldn't change anything because I think every single hardship or whatever, the good days, the bad days is what contributed to who I am today. And I love that.
I love that for you as well.
Thank you.
One more question I ask all my guests, which I will ask you as well, Namrata, is what do you have strong game in?
I think creating beauty, giving confidence to people. And every time I've always left, I've finished my work with a client and I've gone home. And I've been so blessed that till date, every single time I get a message saying, thank you for giving me my confidence back. And I love that.
Making women feel confident.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing and thank you for being that person.
Thank you.
For us. I hope more people find out about your work if they don't already. But if you know the OGs, you know that you are an OG. And I'm just really excited for where you take this brand and, the things that you're going to
I'm very nervous at the same time, honestly. There's so much competition right now. There are brands popping up out of the woodwork in our country.
Left, right, and center. Yes.
Left, right, and center. And to stand out is, it's not that easy. You really need to know your shit.
But
if I can say that on the podcast,
Absolutely.
You really need to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you really need to put in the hours. You really need to put in the work to understand what you're creating and not just churning out products for the sake of it because you want to make money.
Yeah, because your consumers are conscious and they know.
The consumers today know exactly what they want. And if they don't get it, they are not afraid to call you out on it. And you know what? It's actually made it so much better because we were not given that choice when we were growing up. We had to accept what was given to us.
Yeah.
And that is what you could buy. That was what was available to you. So you didn't have a choice. But today you have that choice. It is your choice to spend that money and to know what you're investing in.
Yes, absolutely. So I guess more power to our consumers who
definitely
absolutely are in their right.
I'm so grateful because of them. I am where I am today.
Yeah.
Like I don't think Simply Nam would exist if the consumers did not trust or believe in the brand.
I agree with that. And it makes me really happy that you've decided to take this plunge, because I do feel like with the experience that you've got, you will be creating, and you are creating, products that really understand different types of skin and, you know, all requirements that women could have to make them feel confident. So thank you. And yeah, I guess I hope to see your product in London as well.
I know, I hope so. I really hope so. Thank you for having
Namrata.
me and taking out the time to have a conversation with me.
Hi, me again. Just wanted to say thank you so much for listening to this episode of Brown Game Strong. I hope you enjoyed it and got something useful out of it. If you'd like to stick around, then please hit subscribe if you're listening on YouTube. And if you're on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can click follow to get updated on all of the latest episodes. It helps me immensely in continuing to bring you more exciting guests and interesting stories so that we can continue to learn about all the awesome work that's happening in our community. Thank you for your support. It never goes unnoticed, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.